This is the Key to Happiness, Part 2. You see, my first video that I ever made on this channel was titled The Key to Happiness, and it was not a great video. I know some people might like it who watch this, but I don't like it very much. So, I'm back here making part 2 of this video. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time, and I've basically just been really just putting it off because I knew that this was going to be a much longer video. It was gonna, be some work to get it done. But here we are making this video. So if you want to get the full benefit of this video, because I truly believe that there's a lot of good advice here that can drastically improve your mental health, go ahead and watch this whole video all the way through. I know you can. I know it's scary, long video. I have a short attention span. By you watching this long, unedited video, you are basically proving to yourself that you are capable of achieving things. So, don't scroll around, read the comments. Just sit down, full screen this video, and watch it all the way through so you can get the full advice that it's coming through this thing. So the first point of this video is go outside, climb a tree, play, act like a child again. Because if you ever looked around and seen, like, a little 8-year-old kid, most of them don't have depression. Most of them are actually some of the happiest people you'll ever talk to. And the reason for that is that they don't bother themselves with trying to act like an adult, trying to, fit in with everybody. Go outside, spend some time, play. Honestly, it does. I know everyone's in like the hustle culture, like grind, I put in 12-hour days, and that can be beneficial, don't get me wrong. But the point is that if you're trying to improve your mental health, just working all the time is not always going to be the best option. In fact, I have found that a lot of times I will actually produce higher quality work if I'm putting in a lot of effort, putting in a lot of work, but also setting aside some time to have a little bit of fun. So what this can look like is, you basically literally just going outside, and you can tell people that it's for working out or it's exercise, but you're basically just going outside, running around. You can go out, climb a tree, go for a hike. Literally, I'm not even kidding. Climb a tree. I know it sounds stupid, like, I'm an adult, I'm not gonna climb a tree, that's weird. Literally climb a tree, okay? Because when you're at the top of the tree and you're looking at the roofs of people's houses, you're not gonna feel depression. All right, allow yourself to just let go of all these weird cultural beliefs that adults shouldn't have fun and adults shouldn't go outside and act like a kid. Enjoy your life. All right, jump over puddles, do fun things, go out and really just, I've done this recently, it's amazing, going out and like finding a leaf or a rock or something, find a cool rock, look at it, study it. It sounds silly, but this is extremely, extremely powerful. Second point is spend some time with friends. Train with a partner. See, a lot of people think that, train alone is better. It's more optimal. Train with a partner is one of the most fun workouts you can ever have, because not only are you pushing each other and hyping each other up and having a great time, you're going to get a better workout anyway, because when you're sitting next to the bench and you're contemplating whether or not you should do another set, your friend's going to be there going, yeah, man, do another set, bro, you gotta do another set. And it's like screaming at you, telling you need to do another set. That wouldn't happen if you didn't have a partner to train with. So by training with a partner, you're having a much better time in your workout. Your mental health is going to be better during that workout, and you're going to have a better workout anyway. Everything about it is a win. And also spend more time with your friends. Now, a lot of people think that, oh, I'm spending time with my friends, when they're literally just sitting alone in their house. Maybe they might be on a Discord call playing Siege with someone. That's not spending time with your friends. What spending time with your friends should really be is you wanting to go do something and then inviting someone else to come with you. Going to, like after work, maybe you want to go to some restaurant with your buddies or whatever. Just spend time with people who genuinely care about you and you genuinely care about them. This is extremely, extremely important and profound for people's mental health. See, we as human beings, we're meant to live in tribes. We're meant to be connected with other people. And when we remove this connection and we spend all of our time alone and we're like, oh, I'm a lone wolf, Sigma male, I don't need anybody. Your mental health is going to deteriorate because, sure, you might be a little more introverted. I'm whatever that word is, like, not extroverted, but I'm not introverted either. I'm weird. But even if you're a little more introverted and you're not very social and you prefer to stay alone, step out of your comfort zone and go ahead and try to spend some time with people, whether it be friends, whether it be family, whatever. You need to surround yourself with a tribe of people because man is not meant to be alone. This was said in the Bible. This was said in Genesis. Man is not meant to be alone. That's why God created Eve. The third point is do something that sucks first thing in the morning. Now, this is interesting because what this is actually not just a mental health tactic, but it's also a productivity tactic that I've spoken about on this channel before. And that productivity tactic is eat the frog. What this is, all right, so I want you to imagine that I am giving you a live frog. And you have to eat this frog. There's no other options. You literally have to eat this frog. But you have a choice to eat it before dinner, and it's the best dinner you've ever seen. It's all your favorite foods, everything, massive feast, Thanksgiving, whatever you want to call it. But you have a choice. You can eat the frog before you eat this huge dinner or after you eat this huge dinner. It's an amazing, delicious dinner. You have two options. And just for a second, I want you to think to yourself, what would you choose? Now, if you choose before dinner, eat this frog before you eat this meal, congratulations, you're smart. Biggest thing about this, why would you want to put this off after dinner to eat this live frog? It's disgusting, right? Disgusting. It's gonna blood everywhere. Gross. Why would you want to eat this delicious meal and then ruin that nice taste in your mouth? You have nothing to cleanse your palate with. You've eaten all your food, and then you have to go to bed with this disgusting taste of live frog in your mouth. Or you can eat it before dinner. Now, it's going to be gross, it's going to be disgusting, but you're just going to go ahead and eat your dinner anyway and cleanse your palate. And on top of that, if you don't eat it before dinner and you eat it after, the whole time you're eating your food, you're going to be thinking about how disgusting the frog is, and you're not even going to enjoy your meal. Granted, this is probably good. Like, just imagine, okay, this is the best meal you've ever had. You're not even really going to enjoy it that much because you're thinking about the frog. Now, I want you to, instead of thinking of it as a frog, think of it as an important task that you have to do during the day. But instead of doing it in the morning, you put it off until later. You just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. You're just going to, like, not, you're pretending to not worry about it. But the problem is you're putting it off, and the whole time you're trying to enjoy yourself and have fun, you're thinking about that task. You can't even be fully present with people anymore because you're constantly thinking about how hard that task is going to be. It's finally the end of the day, and then you finally do it, and it's not even a good job, and then you go to bed. Or you wake up, and first thing in the morning, you get this task done. This is what I'm doing right now. First thing in the morning, I am making this video because I have been putting this off for a long time, and I really want to get it done. Doing this tactic of doing something that sucks first thing in the morning, you're making the rest of the day better because you've already gotten the hard thing out of the way, and so you don't have to think about it anymore. And so now you're free. You've completely freed yourself to be able to enjoy your life way better. And now the mildly difficult tests that are not quite as difficult as that one big hard test now feel worlds easier because you've gotten the hardest task done. So for you, this might be a difficult workout. You can do this early in the morning. You can, or it might be a big project you're working on, or if you're a student, it could be, studying for exams. You get this done first thing in the morning, so you don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. This is very, very powerful. This tactic of eating the frog. The fourth point is do kind things for people. Now, there was a study where people were given, I don't remember what they were given, I think it was like $5 or something simple. And one group of these people were tasked, here's $5, go spend it for yourself. So they probably bought like some drink or something like Starbucks or whatever, something cheap, right? And they noticed there was a slight happiness boost, but there wasn't much, very significant. They got a little more happy from that purchase, and then quickly it went down. The other group was tasked, spend that money on somebody else. And what they did was, it's only $5, so they probably just bought like a little trinket or something for someone, or they literally just gave them the $5 or whatever. They did something kind for somebody. And they noticed not only a much greater happiness boost from this, but also stayed elevated for much, much longer than it would have happened, where the other group was just boop, a little bit of happiness, and then right back down to where they were originally. In fact, if I remember right, it actually dipped a little bit below their normal happiness baseline. What this means is by you being kind to people, spreading joy or whatever, and doing things for others, you're not only making their day better, you're making your day better. You're improving your mental health as well as theirs. It's a win-win situation, so why wouldn't you do it? And you may think, I can't afford to spend money on people. Dude, this is really $5. You have $5. Oh. And it can be whatever you have, it can be whatever budget you have, because it really doesn't matter how much it is. What matters is the deed that you've done for the person. And you can argue they're actually getting a higher return on investment for this, because by you doing kind things to people, and maybe it doesn't even need to be spending money on other people. It can be just, helping someone do something or whatever. You can actually, in theory, make more money by doing this, because you have improved mental health, which means that you are now able to work more effectively and work harder, which means you might be more likely to get a promotion at work, or if it's your own business, you're probably going to produce better products or whatever. It's a complete and utter win-win situation. There's absolutely no reason for you not to do this. So an action step for you right now is to right now either order something online for somebody, or text them something nice. Just say like, I don't know, anything kind. I don't know. Just do something kind for someone today. Trust me, it's worth it. The fifth tip is it's something that doesn't really work for me, but it might work for somebody else, and that is smile. Now, smiling is, I don't really know how to explain it, but what I'm getting at here is basically what you can do is you can fake it till you make it. So if you act happy, if you act like you have joy and positivity, it's going to arise anyway in your life. So rather than you thinking, I'll smile or I'll act happy when I feel happy, instead, say, I'm going to act happy until I feel happy. And what this is going to do is you're basically tricking your brain into feeling more happiness and more joy. Because think about it, when you act happy, when you act a little more cheerful, you're going to do more nice things to people. You're going to maybe compliment somebody. Someone might even compliment you. By you acting happy and smiling and being, a cheerful person, you're actually going to end up being happy because people are going to notice that you're happy and they're going to say happy things to you and you're going to be nice to them, and it's a constant positive feedback loop by you just simply acting happy even if you're not. The sixth point is don't overindulge in instant gratification. Now, something that I've noticed is that whenever I'm constantly like indulging in like basically just doing whatever I want, right? It's like I feel like watching movies the whole day and then I watch a movie the whole day, or I feel like just eating junk food the day. Just completely ignoring like all discipline, letting loose and all that stuff. And to some people, this might seem like, oh yeah, that he's probably having a great day. This is probably happy. Self-care, guys. By you overindulging in instant dopamine, instant gratification, your mental health is actually going to deteriorate rather than improve. See, a lot of people think, oh, I'm taking a self-care day. You're actually making your mental health worse by making your day nothing but instant gratification, because you're not improving anything. You're just doing whatever you want, doing whatever your emotions tell you to do. See, the problem with this is that the chemical known as dopamine is basically whatever people think it's your happiness chemical, but it's not. It's actually your motivation chemical. It's the chemical in your brain that makes you want to do things. And so when you do something that's fun, your dopamine is going to increase. Something pleasurable like drinking a soda or eating junk food or playing a video game or whatever, your dopamine rises. When it rises from doing something like instantly gratifying, as soon as you're done doing that thing, it drops back down. In fact, it doesn't just drop back down to baseline, it actually goes a little bit below baseline until you get your next hit of dopamine, as I like to call it, where you're like, oh, I'm going to scroll on TikTok for an hour, and then it turns out to be 4 or 5 hours, but whatever. Your dopamine spikes up, and then it goes back down, and it goes even, and then it goes, boop, a little bit below your new baseline. So it actually just keeps going down slowly over time. And it's a very gradual process. But what this does is it completely destroys your body's baseline dopamine, which means you lose almost a lot of motivation to do anything. It makes basically just everything incredibly difficult. And so rather than indulging in instant gratification and actually destroying your mental health, what I want you to instead do is basically do difficult things. Doing difficult things. And obviously, you can still have fun. You can still do fun things. But don't do anything that's ridiculously, like, crazy dopamine, like, high-edited TikTok videos and all this stupid garbage. Instead of indulging in social media and scrolling on TikToks, destroying your attention span and destroying your dopamine, do something that's actually fun. And, like, go outside, you can call a friend, hang out with some people, do something that's not ridiculously stimulating for your dopamine. It's just going to make it harder for you to be present, harder for you to actually do things, which is destroying your mental health. But no, you don't have to, dude, you don't have to listen to that. You can just take a self-care day. I need to drink it. Hold on a second. Ooh, it's gonna be a long one. The next point is gratitude journaling specifically. So this is something that I've begun doing for quite some time, and that is gratitude journaling. So basically what this is you don't even have to write it down, but writing it down is a good idea. Where in the morning, basically just grab a piece of paper and a pen or whatever, and you just write down something that you're grateful for. So right now I'm grateful for my camera. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to make this video. I'm grateful for the breeze, actually. I'm grateful for wind. Because it makes a summer day way better. And what's the third thing? Grateful for water. Because my throat was getting really dry earlier. So really, it's that simple. Every morning you write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And that was a very simple thing, but what's better is actually you go into even more depth than I did, where you're actually talking about how grateful you are for something that most people would say they're not grateful for, something most people would say is negative, where it's like, I'm grateful for having poor mental health, because that taught me lessons of how to improve it and how to improve all areas of my life, or just anything like that. It's very, very powerful to be able to find gratitude and find positivity in negative situations. The 8th point is work on something meaningful. So a lot of people will just mindlessly work on things they don't even care about, like just do simple tasks that don't mean anything to them. By working on something meaningful and that you care about, your happiness is going to improve dramatically, because you're not just mindlessly working on stuff that doesn't matter to you. You're working on something extremely important, whether it be doing work for a charity. Your mental health is going to improve drastically while you're working for a charity. Some of the most fun memories I've ever had is when I'm outside working, doing some kind of service for someone with friends. I basically just checked off several of these points that I've made, where you're doing something with people and you're helping people, doing kind things for people. You're outside. and you're doing something meaningful, something that you actually care about. Your mental health is going to improve dramatically if you are doing good for others, putting in effort and work on something that you actually care about. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that doesn't need to be a charity project. It can be something like this, where you're just making a video where you're talking about, how people can improve their mental health, because I've been able to implement not necessarily all of these tactics, but a lot of them, and it has drastically improved my mental health. So work on something that's meaningful to you, whatever it may be. Whew, it's a long video. The last point, if there's anyone even watching this still, because my YouTube retention isn't very high, is the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your thoughts. It's quote by Marcus Aurelius. What this means is that by you seeing negativity in everything, because if you ever notice that some of the happiest people out there are the people that just are always very positive about their situation, always finding something good, silver lining, whatever, about just anything happening. If something bad happens, they'll always just say, well, at least it's not like this, or at least whatever. There's always going to be a silver lining to find some kind of positivity in their situation. If say they're riding a dirt bike and the dirt bike crashes or something, and the dirt bike's destroyed or whatever, most people would be sad and very upset and very angry. But the positive person says, wow, that could have been awful. Thank God I didn't die or get really hurt. You're finding positivity in your situation, no matter what it is, because the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are bad, then your life is bad. If you're constantly thinking about negative things and, having negative thoughts in your mind about yourself, then your mental health is going to deteriorate and your life is going to deteriorate. But by you thinking positively, thinking positive things about yourself and doing good things for others, then your life is going to improve drastically. Something interesting I've noticed, and it's very profound actually, is that for much of my life, I have suffered from negative thoughts, and a lot of people can agree with this, can relate to this, where your mind is basically just constantly saying negative things about yourself. You look in the mirror like, oh, you're ugly, you have acne, you're ugly, no one's gonna like you. I'm not crying, by the way. Rather than thinking negatively, because think about this, all right? Would you walk up to a person, like a friend or whatever, and say, you're ugly, you have acne? No, you wouldn't. You might tease them, possibly, right? But you wouldn't just walk up to someone that you genuinely care about and start saying the things that you say to yourself. So why are you saying it to yourself? It doesn't make any sense. You should be your own best friend. Why are you being such a jerk to yourself? So every time you get a negative thought about yourself, where it's like, oh, you're ugly, you have acne, or whatever, literally just argue with yourself. You're gonna act like it sounds psychopathic. But when you get that thought in your mind where it's like, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you're bad at this, you can't do that, just counteract it and argue with it. Say, no, you're an idiot. I can do that. What do you mean I'm ugly just because I have acne? That's not the only thing going for me. I got other stuff. I got I don't know, but counteract your negative thoughts. Because basically just picture, all right, there's 3 people in your head. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But imagine there's 3 people in your mind. Three people. One of them is you, your physical body or whatever, right? The guy who's looking in the mirror. The other one is the jerk who's, talking about, let's say he's the little devil on your shoulder, right? I don't remember which, is it your left shoulder or your right? I think it's your left shoulder. I don't remember. One of them is the little devil guy, and he's yapping about how ugly you are and how much of a bad person you are and how, awful you are and how horrible your life is and situation. And that one's that little voice that's starts arguing with that devil, saying, no, you have this going for you, you have that going for you. You're not ugly. You're actually pretty good looking. Remember that girl who texted you, she actually probably liked you. All these little things. And eventually what it's going to do is it's going to train your brain to actually make it a habit to argue with the negative thoughts. And at some point, believe it or not, those negative thoughts are going to become lesser and lesser and lesser. And the hope is eventually, and I'm still working on this, it's just going to give up. Now, obviously, pointing out your flaws can be a very good thing. If your friend is going up to you and saying, hey, does this look good? Does this t-shirt look good on me or whatever? And if it's an ugly t-shirt, you're going to say, no, you're not going to lie to him and say it's a great t-shirt and you go out there and have fun and then he's going to get made fun of by someone. That's not what a good friend would do. So basically, be that friend for yourself. When you're doing a bad habit, say, hey man, you're too good for that. You shouldn't be doing this. You're better than that. Don't indulge in these bad habits. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Whatever. You're too good to smoke. Be that kind of friend. The bad friend will go, you're a loser. You're smoking. No one's going to ever love you, ever. You're a horrible person. Just insulting yourself. So just reframe the thoughts. Reframe the negative thoughts into something positive. Something you can actually improve on and work towards, because the good friend wants you to do well. The good friend wants you to succeed. So the good friend is going to point out when you're slipping up, when you're messing up. So you can point out your flaws and your bad habits, but don't be a jerk to yourself, because the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of your thoughts. Whew, it's a long video. I'm gonna get some water because I'm thirsty. That's all I got for today. May God bless you and stay wild.